And voila, here we have the sink itself with some accessories. So let's get it out from this box. So this is the info for the sink itself. And it's out of the box, and here we have it, and I'm glad it's in one piece. That's what comes with it, and this thingy right here. And we bought this Ensen, if you need a bit more info, to put in there. So let me get to it. This is also out of the box, together with this thing. This, which I'm not sure yet what for, maybe, yeah, I think that they are for this, probably. And yeah, that should be about it for that. And this thing, honestly, it weighs a ton, and the quality of the finish is, it's impeccable, honestly. Quite nice, really, really nice. And it has a water saving or energy saving feature, which means that in the middle, right here like this, it's actually cold water. If you want warm water, you go fully to the left. Normally in the middle you would have a mixture of cold and hot. This only allows you to go a tiny bit to the right, so in here probably your boiler will not start up or something like that. Only in here. So it's just a gimmick. I wasn't sure what that was, but it's a gimmick. Anyway, this is quite clear for this part. This, I'm not sure if I'm using this or the one that comes with the sink, because it's one in there. Okay, starting to assemble this thing. These two, as you can see in the picture, go together, and then we have a grommet, that one, right on top of this. Next step, assemble the tool itself. This is a rubber that comes separately, and with friction you can tighten this thing in that. This with its grommet comes from this other side, and that one from that side. I don't know about that yet, but I will check quickly to the manual to see if it's mentioned anywhere. That thingy is on and tightened. Now we are going to put this in position. It shows you to decide where you want to put the overflow, on what side of this. They show you on the left, probably we will be using the left. Then it shows you to get out that piece that you just cut, because you need to cut your own hole in that for that overflow. Connect the overflow obviously, and then put all of these pieces together, and you should have something like this. So I'm going to do that. As you can see, they are showing you that the overflow must go directly down. You don't need to have water stagnant in there. That could cause problems. So yeah, this is adjustable by length. Don't over adjust it. Make sure your drawers don't hit it when you are tightening it in position, and after that you continue with the rest of the drain. So I'm going to do all of these steps now. I cannot film everything. Just realized that it could be better for me if I change the order of installation. So instead of installing this whole part of the drain system, I will install this, because I have much more room in here to connect everything, and these things actually go behind the draining system. So yeah, I'm doing this first. As you can see, quite a simple job. We have this rubber grommet, then a really thick steel plate, 2 screws, something, an Allen key that goes, I presume, where does the Allen key actually go? That's a bit unexpected. I was thinking that maybe in the ends of this, but they seem to have Phillips ends on them. Yep, maybe the Allen, it's if you want to actually remove this, you use the Allen key to fully remove this if you ever need to, for one reason or another, to change maybe the cartridge inside in the future or something. I don't know. If you know better, please tell us in the comments. And it's quite nice that they label this hot water with this little red sticker. Good. And yes, we obviously have the round sealing O-ring in here, which will seal against the sink itself. So let's open this and start installing. Remove the two nuts from these screws, tighten the screws with where is the Phillips key, and now I will simply lower this whole thing through that hole, and then we will put this thing in there, after it this metal thing, and then tighten these nuts with the help of this. As you can see, it's really long and it can help you tighten them right deep in there. With something else it will be much more complicated. And this is the exact procedure that they are showing us here. And at the end you either have this kind of straight, these hoses, you don't want to have it spun. This a bit wiggling is okay, and you don't want to have it overstretched. And yeah, obviously too short of a radius a bad thing, too small of a curve bad thing, and a loop again a bad thing. And they are showing you run this without the aerator or something like that. You remove this fully and run it for about 5 minutes, so no debris will get caught in here from your new installation, for example. And then you put that thingy right back in there. So yeah, let me get into installing this thing. Really simple and clear instructions, even if you haven't done this job ever. Basically you need this plus this for what I already told you, but maybe in the future, not now, you are not doing anything with it now, and they provide you all the rest. And yes, you need a key to tighten these things. That's a bit true, but this depends on your country. You might have different fittings at the end. And from underneath, tightened both screws, or actually both nuts fully. And that's about it. As you can see, everything has plenty of room. They tell you not to throw away the label, so you know the part number if you ever need to reorder it. I'm not sure if you can replace only the hoses on it. They don't seem to be the standard thread type. They might be just pressed in there somehow, so I'm not sure about that. Hopefully I don't need to change them too soon. And yeah, in theory, I hope that this is my hot water and this is my cold water. If the guy that did the installation went with the standard rule that you have hot water on the right, on the left side, and cold water on the right. But who knows? So yeah, I am connecting this in here, but will remain to be seen if that's correct or not. Okay, it's done, and honestly I'm not too happy about the situation because I have lots of curves. I did my best to make them really long, but yeah, it is what it is. These are a bit too long for my particular setup in here. Maybe you are luckier and you either have these faucets turned to a side so you can lose a bit of the length coming like this. For me, nope, and I'm not going to turn this whole faucet because it might start dripping, so yep, we are using it as is. I don't think the bends are that dramatic anyway, but they are there. So now let's continue with the rest of the thing. Sorry, I think I missed showing you a step. I actually put silicone this morning when I put this into place to make sure that I can start working on the rest of it. So I put silicone right there, as you can see, on top of this, under the sink, camera focus, and obviously on the other side. And yes, I did put some more. You can even see it behind the sink. So I actually even glued it to the wall itself. They are not telling you to do that, but I'm not replacing this thing too soon, so I prefer it to be 100% secured in there. And yeah, so basically I'm making sure that this step is fully, I did this, and I'm making sure it's fully dried before starting to apply the silicone in this gap around here and in the gap at the top. That will be done probably tomorrow, but it is cured enough. I think I have 6 or 7 hours since I've put the silicone that I can work on it and it will not move, but I prefer to let it until tomorrow to start doing the details. So yeah, let's continue with these thingies. And what I need to do next, drill a hole for the overflow. Made a hole with the help of a flathead and a hammer, because we have some pre-indentation on the edge, so the material is camera focus. Where is your focus level? About here. Your material is about thinner on the edge, so at this point I need to remove the cap on this thing and get the piece of plastic out somehow, like that. Ta-da-da. So now let's put everything back in, and this will be going in here. Extended most of this thing so I can bend it like this. So this is the furthest possible. It's almost touching this. It's on the second level, so it's exactly where it's allowed to be at the maximum, to say like that. And now, yeah, I have the grommet in here, and with the provided tool and that screw right in the middle, we are tightening everything in place like this. Okay, now we will assemble this, which was in here. So it's a silicone gasket on top of this thing, or under that thing actually. We have a little centering right in the middle for this, and then we have the pin which goes through it, and it's tightened with this little nice piece of metal from the other side. Basically, the end result will be identical to this one that we got with the Faucet. So this will be my spare parts. This unusable for my setup from here lower, because we have this slim thingy, but this basically it's kind of identical, which is nice to have spare parts. And yes, this is not magnetic, this is just a piece of plastic that relies on friction inside that hole to keep its position. I don't know why I remembered it was magnetic, honestly. I read it somewhere or something like that, but I don't think it is. It seems to be just a piece of plastic, I think. Anyway, it doesn't seem to be attracted to anything, so whatever, plastic. Let's make this a piece and continue. Oh, excuse me, the one that came with the Faucet is fancier. It's actually one piece of metal, not more like this. Doesn't have this black plastic here, it's still metal, still one piece of metal actually, silicone instead of rubber, but the plastic thingy seems to be the same one or at least really similar looking, so they are most likely interchangeable. Let me actually test. So the fancy one and the not so fancy, yep, working 100%, so they are identical, which is good. Again, spare parts, this plus this, because even the middle part seems to be interchangeable with the plastic, my plastic in there. which is quite nice. Thank you, IKEA, for making parts really interchangeable. So this is also done, and let's leave it somewhere like this probably. Last thing, connect from there to there. So I need to remove these homemade plugs. Be back in a second. For my particular variant, this is what works. I needed to cut that hose and use the little O-ring in the third channel, like this, 1, 2, 3, and I will push it in here. And you have more variants depending on what type of connections you need. You can see there for the diameter you cut various parts. For me, nope. It was all the part. I didn't need to cut anything. I just need to make sure these two get one into the other and should be okay. A bit too tight, but yeah, seems to work. Tested with some water. I don't yet have running water, so I'm not going to start the tap yet. I just poured some in here from something else. No dripping. Everything seems in position, properly installed. Zero issues. You can see here, no dripping allowed. So now I'm going to put back the drawers and call this a job well done. Putting back the drawers, and let me close the last clip to secure it in place. And now they are fully locked. Let me double check. Yep, it's locked. Ta-da! Camera focus. What are you doing? Yeah, and my hands are shaking. This isn't a really simple and quick task, but in the end, looks kind of good. Ignore the work buckets and whatever all around. Yeah, we'll get back to you once I start using this thing, if everything is okay or not. We finally have water. I have run this thing without this for about 5 minutes. To undo this, you can use a wrench or one of these. I think I paid $2 for it, and it works, as you can see, for many types of this type of aerators or whatever they are called. No hot water yet, but at least we have cold water and everything is working as intended. And this honestly has a really nice feeling to it, and it's highly and easily adjustable. I've seen some that it's almost either on or off. This thing, no, you can make it basically almost drip if you want. I think you can make it drip. Yep, you can make it drip. So this is good quality stuff. And yes, obviously I put silicone all around where it was mentioned in the user manual. So this sink has been in use for about half a year. It's awesome. The only downside, that hole right there, the overflow, is a bit annoying to clean. But yeah, nothing impossible, just annoying. This faucet, it's working perfectly. We have high calcar level in the water in here, or high mineral, not sure how it's called. So it gets spots on it quite instantly, but it's been really easy to clean. Nothing remained on it like scratches or something like that. So yep, like it, highly recommend it. As always, feel free to ask anything you need in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you are interested in such videos, and see you in the next one. Bye.